Welcome back. It's Reggie with Lindsay, one of my favorite clients. I mean, all my clients are my favorite clients, but this is Lindsay here. And today we're talking about her experience with the Guilt-free Game Plan, one-on-one coaching, the 14-week plan. She got some great results and we had a lot of fun. And today we're going to share that experience with you. So thanks for joining. And I'll put a link in the description below so you can learn more about the Guilt-free Game Plan and some of the services I offer. So first off, Lindsay, thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
How's your day going? How are you doing today?
The day is really good. Thursdays are the days that I meet with my clients and have hold up open office hours for labs, my
Mm-hmm.
program. So it's always a good day. I get to help a lot of people, work with a lot of my founders.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me more about the program, who you serve, your clientele?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm the founder of Labs. It's product market fit for pre-seed startups. So in the tech startup world, the average software project goes 3x over scope. So that's a lot of money to spend. So whenever someone is like, "Ooh, I have an app idea. I need to go find software developers," I try to intercept them before they do that because there is just so much more they can do to prove traction, get customers and drive revenue before ever having to develop software. So that's what Labs is. It's a 6-month experience with a 12-week course, open office hours, and a community aspect.
Nice, very good. And so tell me a little bit about why you signed up for the guilt-free game plan.
Yeah, awesome. So last year was a big year for Labs. I had moved all of the content from the structure of 6 workshops into chapters and lessons. It was a really, really big project, and I found myself in October totally burnt out. Also, some family life experiences. I lost my grandmother. I was exhausted. And I recalled a friend of mine, Lydia Benilla, who talks a lot about burnout and says, you can't rebuild and take on the same life you had that led you to feeling that exhausted. And I knew I wanted to get to a place to rebuild where choices about my health and fitness, stability, good habits, things that I needed to do in that realm, I prioritized on the same ground as equally important as anything that I could do at my desk for my business. So that was kind of my driving motivation. And you and I have inadvertently been following each other on Instagram for a long time. And I checked out everything you were talking about. It really resonated, particularly your attention to other business owners. And I knew I didn't want just to find any trainer that is just going to, give me a workout and check in on whether I did the workout or not. There were a lot of elements around mindset that were exciting for me.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for joining and signing up for that. I appreciate it. And that is something that can catch people off guard if they sign up on a whim, is they are looking or they are expecting some kind of cookie cutter program and just a quick check-in. But we actually go really far and in depth into your goals with the guilt-free game plan. And we kind of discover values and we identify, ownership and compassion and being adaptive. And then you, the client, you get to pick one too. And yours was presence. What did that mean to you? Where did that come from? How did that help you reach your goals?
I do want to just say one thing to our audience, though,
Okay.
before they get upset, right? And think, oh, this isn't all fitness and training. I did go down like 2 jean sizes. So, but the work wasn't focused on that, which is the crazy thing. Okay. So, yes, presence was one of the things that was important to me. Like I said, I'd gone through a lot of different intense personal and professional life experiences. And um, I had understood for a while that I was so focused on where I wanted to go, I wasn't appreciating what I had and what I had accomplished in my life, being, uh, self-employed for 8 years, being a homeowner, all these things that are really awesome that uh, didn't seem to be factoring into how I felt about myself. So,
Thank you. Thank you. So glad to help with that. What do we have? Before using the guilt-free game plan, what were some of the mistakes or challenges you were having with your health goals?
yeah, so without going too deep, I would say that when health and fitness were a main priority in my life before I started my business, it was coming from a negative place. I, grew up overweight. I was insecure about my body throughout my 20s, and the obsession I put into my looks and my eating was unhealthy, and it came, like I said, from a very negative place. I learned early on in my business that I needed to get over that because I needed that energy to focus on what I was trying to accomplish professionally. Um, so getting to now I forget your question, Reggie.
Hold on.
I'm just being honest here. I'm being present. I'm
No,
instead of getting
exactly.
taken away,
Exactly.
I'm
That's
gonna
why
just
it's
like
fun.
I'm like, yeah. So why this was important to me now
Mhm.
or
What were
no?
some of the mistakes or challenges you were having?
Oh,
So yeah, you're
okay.
on the
Yeah,
right track. You were
I was
describing it
on the
really
right
well.
yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, back to the main train tracks here. So, what was I not doing well? I mean, I just every time I was relying on an old way of thinking. Every time I would get upset with the way that I looked or uh yeah, or how I felt. I mean, when I came to you, I was like, I feel old. Like I'm achy. I can't move my body. And, I'm 38. So some of it comes with age, but I've had three grandparents live till their 90s. So, like, I have a long time to feel old. So, yeah, I think every time I did, go back to the gym or find a new workout plan to follow. It was always coming from a negative place. It didn't really stick. I couldn't hold myself accountable to it. And I don't think I would have realized on my own that it was the mindset that was keeping me from doing it well. Um, and so, yeah, I think I realized that I needed help if I wanted to do it right and do it in a healthy way.
Nice. Perfect. I like that accountability and mindset to kind of
Mhm.
switch into more of a longevity and enjoyment thing instead of like the achy, like,
Well, you know what I think? I'm gonna tell you, Reggie, because I do talk about you a lot. And I
thanks.
was just on the phone with a woman from one of my professional networking groups, and she works full time, and she said she has this nonprofit she wants to get involved with, and her friend is doing like a new pet food company. And she's just frustrated because she can't remember to like wear her Invisalign and she wants to eat more healthy. And she'll make commitments. Like a lot of people do this. Like you turn to a friend and say, let's be workout buddies. But then like one person is like, I'm working out all the time. And the other person is like, not doing it. And I said to her, I said, I think it is a mindset thing, because she's like, I don't know what I'm doing it for. Am I doing it for me? And I was like, maybe you're not doing it for you in this moment, but you're doing it for you tomorrow, like for you in the
Whoa.
future, And
Yeah.
I have like definitely evangelize, the mindset tools that you've shared with me to my own founders, and they have definitely seen results. And I think that's the really awesome part for sure.
Thanks. Appreciate that. That's a good story. I love it. And that's kind of what my next question is: what elements of the guilt free framework made a difference in the progress towards your goals? And it sounds like you're really enjoying kind of the setup. We do vision focus. So you learn more about why you are doing what you're doing. And if it's aligned with what you really want to do in terms of changing your health habits, because a lot of people will just start up and find something online, do all or nothing plans, and it doesn't really suit what they want for themselves, and they quit and they feel bad and guilty and mentally weak. It's a whole thing. And so I'm glad you had a good experience with that. And you're telling people about it. That's awesome. We're going to tell more people too.
Yeah, for sure.
Any other elements of the guilt-free framework really stand out? Or like the real difference maker? Was there one specific situation or element or part of the process that really helped you?
Well, I think the one thing that you do really well is you have a toolbox, and then you help us figure out how to adapt that tool to our style. So, for example, uh, plenty of people try to have a gratitude practice, and they write like 3 things they're grateful for in the morning or 3 grateful things at night or whatever. And I said to you that I wasn't gonna do 3 at night. Like, I just, like, pass out at night, and have like, journaling and taking that moment wasn't part of my routine, and it was unlikely to be part of my routine. And so you noticed that I was keeping track of my practice schedule in a notebook, and you were like, "Okay, well, every time you open that notebook, just write something you're grateful for." And that transformed like, how I felt about the gratitude practice, for sure, because I'm carrying this notebook around, and every time I see it across the room, I'm like, I'm grateful," and then I'm like, "What am I grateful for? I need to go write down what I'm grateful for," and I think that helped me be extremely present, especially during a hard time. We had Omicron going on. I was cleaning out my grandmother's apartment after she passed away. So it's just to kind of appreciate the present moment, and the way that you are able to take these tools and adapt them to what's realistic for us. Like what's actually going to work for us.
Love it. Love it. Glad to help. And you see how those values come together with compassion and being adaptive and then
Yeah.
the realistic focus. It all comes together really nicely.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I also thought it was funny, like, I came to you and I was like, "I need to be walking, like, 8,000 steps a day, but, like, if I don't make an effort, I'm at, like, 4 or 5,000." And I think on my own, I would have just, like, told myself one Monday morning, like, "This is the week I'm gonna walk 9,000 steps a day and just, like, get it done." And it wouldn't happen, like, I wouldn't stick with it, the no rhyme or reason, I don't know. And then the first week you were like, "Just get 5,500 steps a day." I was like, "Okay, like, that seems really weak." And and I blew it out of the water, but, like,
Uh-huh.
you know what? Like, achieving small goals and feeling good about it is kinda like putting gas in your tank to
That's what I'm
tackle
talking
bigger
about.
goals.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes.
So,
Awesome.
I thought that was funny. I thought it was a funny part of my journey, just because we finally got to 8,000 in January or something, and I was like, "Okay," and then 1 week, my average was, like, 7,500. We knew we were gonna hit a problem eventually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Got there though, building it up. So that's good. That's what I
Mhm.
want the people to know.
Mhm.
Fantastic. All right. So the next question I have for you: how did you feel using the guilt-free framework? Was it simple and clear? What was your journey like? What do you have
Yeah,
to
I
add?
think it's, like it's good to mention, just to bring up again, the, uh that you have these tools and this framework, and I came to you with, like, kind of a different ask, because instead of having, like, a clear goal, like, "I wanna deadlift 200 pounds again," or "I wanna fit into my size 31 jeans," or "I wanna launch this podcast," I was like, "I don't wanna feel old, and I wanna feel like I have some energy," and it was very, like, loosely defined. Uh, and we kind of both agreed that there would probably be some hard things about that, but, we worked on that kind of journey together, and I got the results I wanted. Like, I
Mhm.
feel really stinking good right now.
That's good.
So that's awesome. So I think, again, and emphasizing that adaptability as like one of your values that you share with us and that we have to come to own as well, really saw like helping me to adapt the program each week based on what I was experiencing. Like we went through the holidays and New Year's and everything. Um, that was super super helpful, just to slowly build up this capacity. And some things I saw the results right away, right? Like
Mhm.
easy win, 5,500 steps a day. Awesome. The gratitude thing was like in 3 days, I'm just looking at this notebook all the time, being like, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? Like, and listing those things out. And um, I think, there took some fine tuning with like my eating and fine tuning with like my exercise, but like it all really came together. And it's like just a reminder, like slow and steady wins the race,
Mhm.
because like I could have been like, someone could have promised me all of this in 4 weeks and I would have like crashed and burned. So, oh, and also you went out of your way to create that burnout calculator so we could measure my recovery from burnout over the 14 weeks. And I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah, I was glad to do that. I'm looking forward to making that more of a fixture in the business too, because it's such a valuable tool to help you assess, you know, some of the elements of stress and feeling overwhelmed that can like sabotage all your goals in your health and your business. So
Well,
yeah.
it's just, a friend had said to me maybe a couple weeks before I signed up to work with you, she said, you can't really make decisions about your business when you're burnt out, right?
Right.
You can't make those decisions because, like, if you're really burnt out, your like whole body hurts when you have to think about your work. Like if that's really what's going on, and
Mhm.
yeah, so it was like I just had to like focus on what was gonna make me feel better and of let go of like controlling all of the outcomes.
Mhm. Yeah, so it sounds like you had a really good recovery from burnout using it in part because of the guilt-free game plan, but mostly because of your own ability to adapt and recognize what you needed for yourself.
Yeah, I think definitely it was a great reminder of how quickly I put new lessons into action. So that was kind of one of the accomplishments or recognitions that I gave myself
Mhm.
at the end of our work together, was like, hey, I really like I put these things into work. You told me to inspect my food diaries for what was high in carbs, and I went and did it right away and like updated it. And then I did it again on my own, and that's awesome. And then also just being super realistic, and reasonable.
Mhm.
That's the thing, is reasonable. I think we have this go big, go home culture, and, I hate it. I wanna go big and go home,
Right.
or I wanna
I
tell
got
you
both.
that if you go big, you'll probably go home if you're not
Mhm.
careful, you know?
Also
So
that.
realistic and reasonable goals and action steps is what's really gonna move the needle long term.
That's perfect. I will update my info page, realistic and reasonable action steps to help you reach your
I don't
goal.
know if it
Perfect.
sells. That's my hard thing as a coach too. If I talk to tech startup founders and I'm like, I want you to go big. I want you to go acquire all the users and build the most amazing technology, but like 90% of startups fail, so I kind of want you to go medium, not go
Medium.
big. But that doesn't sell on Instagram. Like,
Right.
follow me, I'll teach you how to go medium.
It's an ongoing game trying to get
Yeah.
people to realize that you have a process that'll help them for sure.
But also just the thing is like getting people to realize that when you sit and idolize extreme, like obsessive type of behavior, like
Mhm.
that go big inspires, you're just setting yourself up for failure over and over again, because it's like not natural to
Mhm.
be that like obsessed. You have a
Right.
life, you have other things going on. Like I recognize that if I was stressed and doing a lot of work with my business, and this in my early days, that obsessing over my weight was going to take energy away from that. And you only have so much energy to make decisions and to focus and to improve yourself. And so you got to be conscious of that level, of those levels and how you manage them.
Deep. That's quotable. That's huge. It's like, I feel so proud of you. You get it. You understand what I'm talking about. So that's good. Yes, I'm
Yeah,
so excited. Okay.
I mean, this is the thing that I understood, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh, the energy store that you have for willpower, which you need to create new habits, to wear your retainer, to stop smoking cigarettes, to drink less, whatever, walk more, whatever it is. It's the same energy store that you use to make decisions. So I always relate that to people. I'm like, okay, Obama smoked cigarettes the 8 years that he was president, and, like, that sucks, but, like, he's making decisions all day, every day. He doesn't have the energy to change a significant habit. So when you are thinking about, like, "Man, I don't have a workout routine," and for me, I hadn't really had a steady workout routine in 2 years, um, like, managing my business and building a workout routine, I wasn't gonna be able to go 0 to 100 in 1 week,
Hmm.
It
Right.
needed to be a lot slower. So,
Yeah, that realistic focus is such a
reasonable.
key. Yeah,
Reasonable
realistic and
and
reasonable. Exactly.
realistic.
And that's something I love about the guilt-free game plan is it's not like just something you tack on with your health and like everything else you're doing is already happening and then you add like an extra responsibility. What the main or one of the top three things that make it different is that it's letting your health support your life because like you're always making health choices or choices that will affect your health and your energy and your ability to be present in your business with your activity levels and your eating habits. So that was a key, and I was really glad that you could kind of come up with that understanding and make it fit in for you. We covered that. That was like a question I had
I mean,
here.
we should tell everyone what the, like, funniest one of my habits was, which
What was
was
it?
making sure that I put on workout clothes first thing in the morning so that I, like, felt I had more of a chance of feeling like I would work out more.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
What?
it's like adapting to you, setting reasonable goals, winning, and just, like, getting it to fall into your life.
Perfect. Yeah, I was always enjoying when you would say like, yeah, it's such a simple goal, but it makes everything else easier into like next steps or throughout your day. So that's awesome. Um, if someone's thinking about signing up for their own guilt-free game plan, what would you say to them if they're hesitant? If they're on the fence, they're wondering like, should I do it? Is this for me? What would you tell them?
It's always like and it's the same with my program labs. It's like, what's the cost of you trying to do this by yourself for 3, 4 months, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
are you gonna do it? That's the first thing. Like, are you gonna do it without the external accountability? That's like the first question to ask anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's like Daniel Pink, he has a whole book on like intrinsic motivation. I read that. Like, it's not gonna, it didn't change my ability to like follow through without accountability, So think through all the times that you've been successful and it totally on your own? Were you totally self-managed, or is it because you had a team or a coach around you? I mean, athletes have coaches, business owners should have coaches. Everyone should have coaches,
Boom.
right? Like everyone, if you want to be a better person, you need a coach. And so I mean, that's the first thing is what's the cost to you for another 3 to 4 months to do it on your own and probably do it poorly to still feel the same way. Like, I knew in November I didn't wanna feel the way I felt anymore, like, and it had to change, and the only way I was gonna be successful is if, um, I had the help of someone holding me accountable and helping to, like, adapt the plan so that I don't rethink it too many times on my own.
Right,
Um,
right. That's
I don't
exactly
know,
what.
what are your audience's limiting beliefs, Reggie?
That's a big one, actually, that they realize that they've tried a bunch of things and it doesn't work out, and they like start and then they stop, especially like it's almost like New Year's resolution several times a year. And so they give up and then they don't feel good about it. And then they're discouraged for other changes. And it kind of like seeps into other areas of their life where the efficacy is down. So you don't know if you can do like other things that you're intending to do in terms of your business or, impacting your community or stuff like that. And it creates a discouraging space. So like giving people a game plan to change it and empower something as simple, like it's simple but not easy, right? And it's fundamental, like you have to eat every day or like most days. So once you start to practice those things, then you realize like, oh, I can do this, then like what else can I do? And that's why like I came up with the tagline, building adaptive business leaders through compassionate health coaching, because the process of health coaching is the same thing, same kind of process that you would apply to any of your other goals, especially with your business as a freelancer or entrepreneur. So yeah.
For sure, 100%. All of that is true.
Thanks. And then something else I like to do is because Fit for Freelance, we like to build adaptive business leaders, right? And people who are building communities and legacy and like thinking bigger than themselves. A lot of times people will think like, okay, this is what my family needs, or this is what the people around me need. And they can like get away from what they need on their own. However, I always like to ask people at the end of these interviews about their legacy and what they hope. So, like if people are coming to your funeral or your birthday celebration, it doesn't have to be so like end of life stuff. What what are you hoping that they're saying about you and your impact, your legacy?
Sorry, I'm like laughing now because when we buried my 99-year-old grandmother, all of us girls looked at her in her coffin and we were like, her nails look so great. We
Oh,
were just like so happy they did a really nice job with their manicure. So the way you asked that question, I was like, what do I want people to say about me? Like,
nails. She
my
had
makeup looks great. I look pretty. Like, she looks pretty. It's awesome. Like, she looks good. You know, without going too much into my own history, I've been obsessed with designing technology for people my entire life and my entire career. So since 2002, so it's pretty long. And like, I want technology that helps support people, not make them change their lives. And so my vision is to make all of our lives easier so that we can design ourselves and the human experience into the future.
Mhm.
So I want to be known for not only with labs, like helping non technical founders who are solving real problems using technology, not just helping them, reach more people, but also being to reach the masses with the message of how we can be more conscious with the way that we use technology in our lives and the trajectory that it is taking us. So that's what I want to be known for.
That's amazing. Glad to help. Like, that's that's big time stuff. So I'm glad like the changes we were able to make for your health habits and get you on that process will support that. So that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. Feel really, really, like I said, I feel really, really good. And, just like I put the workout clothes in the morning, and the next thing you know, I like pop out just like a 5-minute Peloton workout, right?
Mhm.
Stretching my shoulders or something in a yoga class, but, like, those little things make a difference when, like, my starting point was like, "Oh, I'm feeling achy and, old and creaky," so, uh there's just like the big changes in my habits, and what I think is important to take care of day to day,
Mhm.
um, brings a lot more calmness to my work with my founders and my peers.
Nice.
So
Good.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anything else you think people should know about the guilt-free game plan or your experience with it?
Let's see.
No worries if
I just
not.
no, I just I think it's amazing. I told you I tell everyone all these like things like improving, just like tracking your accomplishments, like great. It feels amazing. And I think I probably would read a lot about like gratitude and manifestation, visualization, and all these things, and maybe just like gloss over it. But as someone said to me, they're like, this is like the like some 101, 102 work that is super, super foundational. And until you do it with Reggie's help, like you're not gonna feel the actual like the actual outcomes that you can actually achieve using these tools.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you for that. Here to support anyone who is looking to make these kinds of changes. And we definitely facilitate that with the guilt-free game plan. We make it easier. I'll put the info back up at the bottom. We have the Instagram tags. Um, do you want to tell a little business plug, any offers you have coming up?
Sure. If you follow me on Instagram, Lindsay T Lady Engineer, you'll see plenty of links to my YouTube channel where I answer the most common questions entrepreneurs are asking online, particularly around customer and market research, product development. There's even some stuff on fundraising. So lots of free, good content. And you'll also find links to my product market fit ebook, which is the 3 myths that you need to stop believing in order to avoid all the reasons that startups fail. So check it out. Send me a message. I am here to help.
Nice. Yeah, definitely check that out. And also check me out. I'll put some info in the description below so you can learn more about the guilt-free game plan, fit for freelance, and how we can help you lead the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams. So thank you so much, Lindsay, today for this glowing testimonial and for being such a great client, able to implement and get the support and take ownership of your own path to freedom and fitness. I think that's really commendable. And especially in the context of like that amazing legacy that you're building.
I think I just want to tell everyone that one of my affirmations is to always laugh about it. So that's why Reggie and I are ridiculously smiling because I do promise to always laugh about it cuz like building a business is hard, taking care of yourself is hard, life is hard, and like we need to find the funny in how difficult it is to make behavior change to be our better selves.
There you go. There you have it. Couldn't have ended it better myself. So thanks for watching. And as always, keep practicing. Peace.